Hi, guys, and welcome to TechSpace Africa, the podcast. So, in this episode, I got to sit down with Watu Africa's country manager, that is Erick Massawe, and we talked about the motorcycle theft that has been, plaguing the company, Watu Africa. And I hope you guys enjoy. Tell me what you think about, the whole conversation, what I can do better.
Watu is a big company. I see it everywhere. Like just last week on Wednesday, when Samsung was launching their Galaxy Fold, you are among the names mentioned as financiers. So you're big, you're known, and I should get to explain yourself. And I don't think the little letter that was sent as a reply to what was happening was enough. That is why I reached out. Yeah, so TechSpace Africa is an online digital tech magazine. We talk about fintechs, startups. So I'm very happy that you could make time for me.
Yeah, thanks very much, and really appreciate you taking the time and making the effort to look for us. As introduced, my name is Erick Massawe. I'm the country manager for Watu in Kenya, and I'm looking forward for the discussion. And I hope we provide adequate answers to all your questions, and that will help to inform you and to inform the public about the real story from our side in terms of what is our perception and what has happened, which I hope will do good for the business and do good for the public, which is our customers that we are serving.
I'm going to just ask you the very first question. You can tell us about Watu Africa. Like, when was it established? How long have you been in business? Are you in this business in Kenya alone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Watu was established here in Kenya, and it was established about 8 years ago. And it started in Mombasa, where I'm sitting today, and it grew across the country. So now we're operational across the entire country in Kenya. And not only in Kenya, but also we're operational in other markets in Africa. So we are currently present in 7 other African markets, primarily all of the markets in East Africa, that is Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda. We extended to DRC, and also we are operational in West Africa in countries like Sierra Leone. Over the past 7 years, we were able to offer assets loans to more than 600,000 customers, and 400,000 customers have already owned their assets. And we have a big team of 1,700 full-time employees in Kenya, and we have impacted more than 3 million lives in Kenya, assuming that every working adult that we've given an asset, whether have completed or not completed, is supporting 5 to 6 people, then you would see that our business is actually impacting quite a sizable number of people within the Kenyan community.
So let's just get right into the key reason we are meeting today, and it's because of the allegations of unethical practices by your company, Watu. The allegations of motorcycle theft after people have finished financing these motorcycles. Are you aware of any of this?
Yes. So motorcycle is a big problem in the industry. It's not a big problem for Watu alone. This is an industrial problem. Yeah. And given the numbers that I've shared earlier on, depending on the source that we'll be citing, we have several numbers which are trying to give a perspective of how many motorcycles are in Kenya. One number from NTSA is 2.4 million motorcycles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another number is 1.8. So irrespective of how you look like or how you want to look at these numbers, if you factor the number of loans that are given in Kenya, probably around 3 to 4 out of 10 motorcycles in Kenya have been financed by Watu.
Uh-huh.
So if this is an industrial problem, that means out of every 10 bikes that have been stolen, 4 of them are owned and operated by Watu customers. Definitely, in here about Watu, it's because of our contribution to the industry and our market share. But majority or the critical mass of the problem also affects Watu customers. Because if you're talking about 3 out of 4 bikes that have been stolen in every 10 bikes that have been stolen only by Watu customers, definitely Watu name will be there. But this is not a Watu problem, this is an industry problem.
But going into this a little further, what have you done about these motorcycles that have been financed by Watu? Now leave the rest, the 6, these 4 that have been lost. What are you doing to make sure they are not stolen? Because these are now your responsibilities. Like what steps have you taken to make sure now our motorcycles are not being stolen? Yeah.
I think that's a very good question. And this is where perhaps our story would make a big difference. And this is where this interview would add a lot of value, because this is the part that nobody speaks about. Okay? Let me take a step back. What was established to basically achieve the mission, which is to positively impact the lives by supporting millions of people in Africa to fulfill their dreams to become entrepreneurs. Yeah?
Okay.
And if you understand our business model, basically, a customer walks in with a dream. So this could be a young individual who has a dream to do business, whether they want to operate the asset as border or they want to join the rideshare platforms or for delivery platforms online and do business. They have this dream, but they are not bankable. They cannot receive a loan through the formal system, right? So when they come to us, in less than 2 hours, they walk away with a business, because we process our loans in less than 2 hours, and we understand the challenges that are there in terms of, people accessing financing through the formal system. Most of these people are young. Most of them don't have collateral. Most of them don't have credit history, so they cannot be bankable. But in Watu, we use a very simple guarantor system to give them this loan, and we process that loan for less than 2 hours. And this is why we always say our mission is to empower entrepreneurs. So once that is done, a customer pays a small deposit that is usually between 18% to 20% of the total asset value, and we release the asset and they can start to do business from that point. But the way we do our business, we do our business with a very clear mindset that we are here to allow that person with a dream to become an entrepreneur. And if they are entrepreneurs, they have to be successful as entrepreneurs or be successful as business owners. Because if their businesses are not successful, then they will not be able to pay. Okay? So we don't necessarily sell the asset as it is. We sell it as a very comprehensive package. So when a customer takes a motorcycle, for example, they just don't walk away with a bike. Yeah? We give them the asset of the choice in terms of brand and specification. We make sure that asset comes with safety cares. We make sure that that asset comes with comprehensive insurance, and that asset comes with, a GPS tracker, which is live tracking, so enabled tracking services. Okay, and insurance will provide cover in terms of when a customer has lost the asset, whether it is theft or any other means. Will provide for accidents, yeah, and the tracker would enable us to even go and find the bike if it has been stolen or this bike has been lost, yeah. Not only that, we provide guaranteed customer service and support, and here, as part of that package, customer will receive services such as logbook transfers without additional cost. We do repairs financing. So let's say the bike has been involved in an accident or an asset has incurred damages that cannot be repaired by the insurer. We can still finance our customer through a scheme we call 3070, where the bike will be taken to repair shops. The cost that will be charged for the bike, the customer will pay 30% upfront and 70% what will pay. And customer will pay us as part of the loan. So we finance repairs. But we do have 24/7 emergency support. What this means is we have a team that is on standby where a customer can call at any point when they have an emergency. Emergency could be, I don't know where my bike is, it has been lost, or I've given it to the rider, I cannot find the rider on the phone, I cannot find the bike. So they call us, and when they call us, now we go to the GPS tracking services, and we can actually follow to understand where this bike was last seen. And now, together with our customer, we aim them to go to the police stations, make a report, and initiate an investigation under police, and to provide inputs which would allow the police to help track, trace, and find that bike. Yeah. And specifically on that, yeah, all the emergency cases that we received so far, we have received 24,000 cases. And this is what I'm telling you. Theft and losses is a big problem, not only for Watu, but it is a big problem for the industry. And out of this, more than 55% of these cases have been resolved. We've recovered these bikes. So not only
55%.
Yes. So not only we would track for our customers, but also we would go ahead and recover the assets for them. Okay. And on top of that, we also give our customers flexible and responsible credit terms. We have payment rehabilitation program for customers who are struggling. So we basically give them flexibility to shift from paying weekly, for example, to paying daily. We restructure their loans if they're facing financial difficulties like we've seen with the current macroeconomic challenges. So we can allow customers to pay little but pay longer, right? And we also give our customers temporary loan pauses. So for example, if our customer, is involved in an accident, for example, we know if it is a customer who is riding the asset while they have gone through the accident, maybe they have incurred some injuries, they cannot go back and use this asset. So in this instance, we offer them free asset storage where they can bring back the bike to our godowns. We will put the loan repayment clock on pause so they will not have any eligibility. And when they are fit to work, they can come collect the asset and go back to work and start their repayment again. Yeah. And not only that, we've gone out of the way and we also do a number of CSR programs. We are giving scholarships to our customers to support their kids to access really good education. At the moment, we have more than 20 students that are enrolled into the scholarship program. We do have health and safety and road safety event. We call it Tujenge Msingi, where we work very closely with NTSA and we roll out big educational campaigns. A good example, we are going to have a Tujenge Msingi campaign for this year starting in August, and we'll have a big event in Kisumu. So we do all of these things as part of a comprehensive package that we offer to our customers. So what a customer is paying to Watu is not only the financing for the asset, but everything that comes with it, as I've demonstrated. One, and just to put some color into this, yeah, our customer team is receiving more than 5,000 calls every day from customers. We have processed more than 10,000 insurance claims for our customers. And out of these 10,000 insurance claims, 4,000 have already been paid and others are in the process. And for example, if it is an issue where a customer had an accident and they're eligible to claim damages from the insurance, we don't wait for the insurance to pay them. We give them a replacement asset so that we keep them on the road while we are processing the insurance cover. As I've told you, on emergency, we have already received more than 24,000 cases, of which 55% have assets have been recovered.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke about repairs financing, where we finance for our customers to repair their bikes so that they can continue to work and make money. And we've already processed more than 4,000 customers on repairs financing. So I think now even for you, the picture is different in terms of what offers to its customers. We are
In terms of value, I get Watu and the value you're offering, yeah. But going back to this one question, so you've told me you have this GPS system that tracks and helps police officers recover motorcycles, and you have given me a number, and you have told me you have a 55% recovery on these cases, on the cases you have received, about 24,000 of them. And I would like to just know, do you think 55% is a good enough number?
So 55%, maybe let's put some color into this, yeah? If you base it out of 24,000, yeah? We're talking about 13,000 assets that we've recovered for our customers. That is not a small, yeah? This percentage could go higher, but the realities of it are also we have customers that are working with us not in good faith. And we have examples of cases where we call it self-theft, where a customer comes back, reports to us that my bike has been stolen. We do our investigation and we realize that this bike has been hidden in customer's house. Those cases do happen. But we do also have cartels of professional thieves who understand what they want to do, and they have established a black market. So they will steal a bike, disassemble it very fast, and sell every part as an individual part through the black market. Yes, you can trace the bike, but you'll not be able to trace every individual component. And this is such a big problem for the industry. And this is why I say it's not a problem, because there's even an established black market for spare parts and motorcycle parts. And for you to crack through those cartels, you're dealing with literally another big organized group of people who, if you find out they are doing it this way, they will shift and that way. So it's a very complicated and a very rampant problem that Watu alone not even crack it. But we are doing our best, and I think those numbers can speak, to our case.
Okay, but okay, another quick question. There's this story now. Let's just say bikes get stolen. Okay, but people are saying, yeah, in this scenario where we are working with Watu Africa, our bikes are not getting stolen until we have finished financing them. And when we finish financing them, these bikes get stolen within 1 to 2 days of finishing the paying off the loans. And this never happens. And these people also say, if we delay payments, these people are quick to find us. But when we have finished financing these bikes, they can't be found. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I would say this is unfortunate that it's one of those scenarios where we make judgment out of context. We receive cases from bikes that have been stolen, which are very new, and or majority of the bikes that are stolen are new because they're targeted. So and for us to really understand this problem, we had to understand also from the people who are stealing from us, like what exactly does that mean? So new bikes are the ones which are being targeted mostly because spare parts can be easily sold as new, so they can move fast. And there's even another version of the industry, the black market industry, whereby people will take very old bikes and then replace every part with very new parts and sell them as new bikes. Yeah. So it is simply not true that majority of the bikes that are being stolen from us are the used bikes. And in most cases, customers finish to pay for their loans in 1 year, sometimes up to 2 years. So you can imagine a boda that has been used for a year or two, it's no longer in a very good condition compared to the new one. So we see a lot of targeted attacks for the new bikes as opposed to the used bikes. And when it happens that a customer's bike has been stolen and has finished to pay their loans, usually we receive judgment. But this is out of out of context, as I've said, because by proportionate, if you look on the distribution, new bikes are much more vulnerable compared to old ones.
But let's say they do get stolen after people finished financing. Have you at any point considered that the motorcycle theft is actually an inside job? Maybe your employees may be acting on their own accord and not, working with Watu Africa as a brand, but, for their own personal reasons. And if you have, what measures have you taken to address this?
We do have a lot of controls to make sure that does not happen. And if we have evidence that has happened, we will take very, very aggressive actions against that. But we have a lot of internal controls, which I cannot disclose to you because this is a trade secret, to make sure that everybody who is involved on asset risk, anybody who is involved on emergency, cannot collude, because also GPS system and GPS tracking teams are different from them. So we have a lot of internal control to make sure that that collusion is literally impossible, because it will involve like huge group of people, which it's unlikely to happen. But we are also open. If someone comes to us and say, I have a watertight evidence which says, Erick, your staff is doing an inside job to steal from your customers, we're more than happy to, listen to that, investigate and take actions. But by design, the way we've structured ourselves, the way we've designed our workflows, etc., it's literally impossible to have that collusion, because it is not a single step process. It involves a number of different departments and different individuals that for anyone to be able to do that, it will have to be a massive collusion that simply is practically not. Yeah.
Now coming to the real reason why this conversation was had is because of a Twitter account that said, I lost my bike just after I finished paying off the loan. But people were like, okay, bikes get stolen. But now how Watu Africa dealt with this person did not gain their trust at all. They came to your offices. They say they were arrested. They say they were harassed. They were told to delete tweets. What do you have to say about how you handle this? You handle these situations when you have these cases which are on the media, and because they are what is actually making you lose this trust.
Yeah. And it is quite unfortunate that as it relates to social media, most of the time we become victims of the single-sided story. I'm sure you, as in the media, you understand what I'm talking about, because to begin with, the case that you're referring to, nobody mentioned the fact that this bike was stolen in November last year. It was who worked with the customer to recover that in Siaya while this bike was stolen in Nairobi. So imagine the customer followed the process. We did our best and we were able to trace and track this bike from Nairobi. We recovered it in Siaya. Like how far Siaya is from Nairobi, you could tell that Watu really cares and really was deliberate about it. Then 6 months later is when this customer reports that the bike has been stolen, has just finishing paying, etc. And let's look at it from this perspective. If Watu was stealing from its customers, why did we recover it in November? Like, what would be the reason? Because surely in November, that bike must have been in a better condition than it was 6 months later. You agree with me?
Yeah.
So from a business perspective, if you want to steal, then which one is more valuable? Is it a November?
Well, people could argue you're waiting for them to finish paying.
No. So let's look at it from that end. And the questions that we raised during this particular case was the fact that you being our customer, you know the process, you followed the process 6 months earlier. We were able to recover the bike. The same customer refused to follow our processes 6 months later and decided to go to social media because what happened was the bike got lost. He called us. We advised him to go to the police station, report the case. He basically procured an OB and left. Without customer issuing statements, police cannot initiate investigation, and this was never done until today. And this was something that is within the control for our customer, because if the customer does not issue a statement, police cannot proceed with the investigation. And if police cannot proceed with the investigation, even the data that we have becomes useless. So at that point in time, it raised this question, and we are like, you are our customer, you know the process, we followed the process, we recovered the bike. Can you please do the same this time around? Don't waste time. And at your own liberty, you can proceed with your social media, storm that you've created. But can you do us a favor and follow the process so that we can follow the due process to establish, was this a genuine bike stolen case, or is this a self-theft, etc.? And that never happened. So it was a dead end on our side. And it is simply not true that the customer came to our office and was harassed, etc. That is not true. Because when they came, we received them, and they took matters to their own hand. They actually harassed our receptionist. They beat our receptionist. And at this point, we actually asked them to move to a separate location. We sat down with them. I was there. And one key message was the same thing that I'm telling. Why are you frustrating the process? Can you please go to Jogo police station, make a statement so that we can proceed with the investigation? And they never did that. They kept treating even while they're sitting at our office. So unfortunately, this is the usual practice. You try to create a victim out of your story, and social media makes it easier for people to move on a single-sided story, and that is what happened.
All right, thank you. So what are you doing to gain back the trust of your customers?
So to get back the trust of our customers, we are continuing to be very consistent with our brand promise, which is we are there, support our customers to become successful business owners. And all the services that I've mentioned to you, they're getting better in terms of, our response rates to provide customer service, in terms of flexible payment options, especially now with economic difficulties, in terms of strengthening our asset risk and recovery efforts. So we've invested, and we're making constant improvement in all of these areas. And no surprise that more customers are trusting us, because our business keeps on growing, and our customers are trusting us. This is why they choose us compared to every other available option. So we basically are trying to become the best we can, despite of what is happening, and for us, being consistent to our brand promise is what we believe will separate us from what good is or what bad is. And really, the fact that we have over 600,000 customers who are business owners today, who are every day giving us positive testament and being thankful for what we've done to their lives, they speak louder than this tweet that is trying to defame the business and the brand image from the local community. And as recent as a month ago, we had a conference in our office, and we were able to meet with the border chairman leadership community from across the country, representatives from all 47 counties, and we discussed ways and means by which we can strengthen our relationship and partnership. We ended up signing an MOU, and we had even a declaration that will guarantee that Watu continues to serve this community, and this community does with Watu in all areas. And all areas, I mean all opportunities that are available there, and also all the challenges that we are facing. Because also, I wish you're part of this conference, you hear the testament that theft, security is a big problem, and how much thankful this chairman we are for the services that Watu is doing to help mitigate or alleviate the risks that are presented by that threat. And, this is some of those few sentiments that we get to hear directly, and they motivate us to move forward.
But okay, I have one more question. I would like to know what are the policies and your policies and procedures for tracking motorcycles, such that you are saying there are processes people have to go through, when they lose their motorcycles, and they have to go to the police and report. And you've said 6 months prior to this bike being stolen. That was, all over social media. They followed the process. They went to the police. What about when people don't, fail to complete payments, and they say, you guys come and you don't delay, you just take your motorcycles and go? What are the, procedures that you guys follow? Do you guys use police officers to recover these items? I'm a police officer required just when people have actually lost the bikes. Like, when do you actually, as Watu, get to use these tracking systems yourself, and when do they have to be, referred to the police?
Yeah. So one, the relationship between Watu and its customer is a very formal relationship. We are a relationship that is regulated by our customer contract, and this is signed at the beginning of loan. So when customer, before we even release the asset, we take the customer through the contract, and once they understand what are the terms and conditions of the contract, and they accept that this is what I'm agreeing to, we enter into this contract. And that contract regulates our relationship in terms of the terms of engagement and what happens, and when it happens, who does what. Okay? So as it relates to GPS, all the bikes that we are selling, they come pre-tracked. They come pre-tracked, and the way the system works is we track the bike when the customer is still paying for the loan. Immediately after the customer finishes to pay for their loans, one of the things that we do for them is we ask them to bring the bike to our facilities where the tracker can be removed. And removing the tracker is done concurrently with initiation of asset ownership transfer, where we transfer the logbook to the customer. Okay? So as I've said, tracking service is part of the ongoing service that we give to customers during the time that they're servicing for the payments of the assets. Okay? And the purpose of tracking the asset is during emergencies, when customers have reported to us, I have an emergency. What is the emergency? Maybe my bike have given to you, Miguel, who is my rider. I don't know what is happening. I'm trying to get a hold of you. You're not responding, or you're not reachable. And I am asking for anybody to trace you. They say, we've not seen Miguel, or we've not seen the bike, or we've seen Miguel, but we've not seen the bike. This is the point in time where a customer reports to us. They call through our emergency line, which is available 24/7. They report exactly what happened. When that happens, it triggers us to establish the whereabouts of that bike. And because we have a GPS tracker, and this GPS tracker is a live service, we will basically be able to now say, Miguel, your bike was last seen at this location. Once we establish that, we will basically now advise you, Miguel, let's go to the police station, report this incident, get an OB, provide your statement, and kickstart the investigation. When that is done, for the investigator, the job is half done, because they don't look for bike anywhere. They know where this bike was last seen. Okay? That is that to track it. And also through our network of customers, in particular chairmen, we will spread the word around that area. So let's say your bike was last seen at point A. Now we will give the details of that bike. The bike with this number plate has been reported lost. It was last seen in this location at this time. Has anybody seen it around? And because we have a big market coverage, that plays to our advantage. And this is one of the simplest way we get to get the bike.
Okay. So did you guys do this for the guy who said they lost the bike after 6 months? This is only done after they have gone to the police. Did you guys tell him, okay, your bike was last seen here, now go to the police?
Yeah. Part of the process is we tell the customer, we are going to get you the GPS report. We use that to go and provide a statement so that we kickstart the investigation. And all of this has to happen really, really fast. Okay? Because remember, a bike is a vehicle. It is a movable asset. You can imagine at even 50 kilometers per hour. Since we started this in, if a bike was stolen, now we are already 43 minutes in. This bike will be 40 kilometers away. So it has to happen like really, really fast. Because if we don't act fast, 40 kilometers away from Nairobi, we're already in Machakos. So you can imagine within that radius, in the period that we've had this interview, if customer is not collaborative, this bike could be somewhere in Mayo or somewhere in Embu, or not Embu, somewhere in Machakos, or somewhere close to Isinya, like it could be anywhere within that radius of 40 kilometers because this is a movable asset. Does it make sense? So what we missed from our customer was that he was not cooperative. And to date, he has not provided that statement.
Okay. But there are lots of many cases of the same. And, they say where there's smoke, there has to be fire. Like, I've had these stories even deep down there in Ukamashinani. Now, I would like to know, maybe these are just the cases that come to light, and this other 55% is those ones that, are down there. So what are you guys doing to make sure now people know, okay, these are just a few cases and this is not who Watu Africa is, like in terms of branding, in terms of conferences or whatever? What are you doing to actually, educate the masses? Because it's okay that you have your whole package system, but when people hear about Watu and what they're thinking about is, okay, these people, they'll just come take their bike. What are you doing to, negate this narrative?
Exactly. So this is why we have this interview, for example. We would, and I would recognize that our story has not been told. Or if it has been told, it has not been told enough to reach out to everybody so that they understand actually what is happening and try to relate, okay, what is happening on Watu side versus, what is happening in social media. And I hope even for you today, it's an eye-opener that perhaps what you thought of Watu is different, right? So definitely we need more publicity. We need more of this type of opportunities to tell our story. But number two, we have very, very active engagement with the actual audience. What is the only business that have regular meetings with boda chairmen across all the areas? We do have regular meetings with all boda chairmen and all their leadership once every quarter. You go anywhere in the country, they will tell you, we had a meeting with Watu in July. We're going to have another meeting with Watu in September or in October. We do those engagements deliberately for us to forge that partnership so that not only they allow us to operate within their community and work very closely with them, but also to pass on what is the positive story about Watu that perhaps many people don't hear or many people don't know. And the good news is, majority of these chairmen are already our customers. Their members are already our customers. So if they have issues, this is also an opportunity for us to educate and say, yes, you're complaining about your customer losing their asset, but we have comprehensive insurance for that. Have they reached out for us to process insurance for them? Do you know that we have tracking services? Even if you didn't know, can you report, follow the process, let's go and find this bike and work together to locate these assets. And all of these are very, very fundamental things that makes us different from other competitors, for example, in the eyes of the border community? Because primarily for us, we're looking for border community as our primary target market and not necessarily everyone, because this is where motorcycles are used as asset generating income. And our mission is to allow people to do business using them. So we have a lot of grassroots engagement with the target audience, who is border community. And funny enough, or unfortunately, however you want to put it, what I'm saying is, what we are doing is basically to do a lot of engagement to make sure that we talk to the right audience, who is our customer base. The majority of our customers are border community. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for us, we have regular engagements with them at each level, at the account level, ward level, and at account level. And these are the foundational things that we do to make sure that we are very in touch with our customers. And the funny part of it is, these guys are not the people you'll find on Twitter. These are the people you'll find them on the ground. And that is where we go. So perhaps also that is where our communication, particularly on the public, is missing, because even while the tweet storm was happening, we were having a very positive engagement with border community. We were having a very strong engagement with border stage phase. Yeah. Even as I am in Mombasa, like tomorrow, for example, the whole working day will be out in the field. I will be going visiting stages here in Mombasa. And this is what we do. This is where we invest a lot of our PR, I would say, and communication effort, because those are the guys who speak to our customers. The majority of the chairmen are our customers, majority of their members are our customers. So perhaps also this raises a question of, should we now consider going above and beyond and communicate with the public directly? Probably yes.
All right. I think that answers most of my questions, if not all.